Welcome back to Salazar Art Nation. This is Frank, and this is another update of the 30 days of making mini comics. The mini comics challenge that I started 28 days ago. But actually, I first talked about it or wanting to do it. I think it was on one of Jeff Lafferty's stream. Uh, so the idea came from there. uh, but yeah, so I'm on day 28 for the 30 days of making mini comics, and this is going to be an update video, just kind of going over what I've done so far. Just in within the 28 days, I will be doing another video, just kind of recapping some things, just kind of looking back and talking about some of the challenges and things like that. I think that's going to be Tuesday. Hopefully some of these comics will be done by Tuesday. And if the video doesn't come out on Tuesday, it will come out later within that week. But yeah, expect another video about this. So far, I've already completed at least one fully completed comic where I've already made copies and I've handed out I think like maybe under 12 copies, or like, maybe it was 12 copies. And I did some in color, so that's pretty cool. I have here the Armor of God. This is the pencils, but I have the two masters that I use, the inked version, which I have it on over there on my printer. And I also have the color one that I did, and you know what? I'll go grab it. All right, so here's the ink copy, the line art, and on this one, I did trace the original pencils, and I went over the dialogue and everything in ink. And after I was done, I realized that I think the page kind of moved a little bit, and that did happen the first time I was doing this. I just noticed, since this is the master copy and it's ink, it got wet, got smeared. So I'll fix that. Okay. But yeah, I cut out the panels and I Mod Podged them on another sheet of paper. So these are just kind of glued on here. See? So here, make sure that doesn't get wet. And I print out a copy and I colored it. So this is the master color copy. So I want to see if I can take this to, like, I don't know if there's any more Kinkos, but somewhere where I can just get this copied in color. I need to scan it. Hopefully that doesn't cost a lot. I know I can do that at the local library, but it's $1 per copy, and I don't want to print out 100 copies and pay $100. But that's one fully completed comic. I got this one, Texas Freeze, just a little bit of how I survived the big freeze, Texas freeze, or how I survived Snowvid 21. And I do have the completed, let me see, the completed cover. I went over that yesterday, but I had already done most of it. I think it was a couple of days before. But yeah, Texas Freeze, How I Survived Snowvid 21. Art and story by Francisco J. Salazar. That's my phone ringing. So, and yeah, so this font, I did use a font and I traced it. It's called a Freezer Burn. No, it's from a font pack called the Freezer Burn, and this was called the Freezer font. And I got that from Certworks Art Labs. So I bought that on Design Cuts. So I bought that pack there. So I just traced over that font, and then I resized it because on the program I was using, it can only get up to a certain size in fonts, and I needed bigger. So I just traced it and went over that. And I did the same with this one. It's like a country western type of font. So just went over it, more hand done. So I got page 2, the line art all done. Just going over all the art. Now I had all the rest of the dialogue, and I'll do that with fonts. So hopefully that will save some time. But I will go back and add the dialogue by hand here, so I can just show these as 2 complete comics. So that's and I did this one today, which I'll show this one. So I did a tiny comic, a mini comic. These are 2 index cards that I just, I folded long ways down and then folded it in half. I did the same with this one. This is actually page 1. Page 1, page 2, page 3. And I got this idea from Marek Bennett. One of his videos actually, he did do a mini comic. He was actually showing how to do mini comics. So that was one of the earlier videos I had seen when I was looking up comics, how to make comics. And once I knew about mini comics, I think that's one of the ones that had popped up. So it was so his and Marshall Lee's and Scott Circlin. But I think I learned about mini comics from Scott Circlin. So so he did a video. He was doing an art camp live stream, and he talked about making like mini books like this. So I always thought that. So I thought that was a cool idea. So I was like, oh, cool. So I just used that to make a comic. And so I'm gonna use this as thumbnails and turn it into a mini comic like this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to reproduce it like this. Well, maybe if I scanned them. If I scan it like this and then just cut it out, and even then I'll be putting it together. So maybe I don't know if anyone wants these teeny tiny ones, but I will be making it this size. And funny thing about this one, this is also a slice of life. So this is a slice of life comic. What I did during the freeze. I'm doing another one that I've talked about before. Right now I'm calling it the event, but I might change that. That's just a placeholder title for now. But it is about something that happened to me when I was little, and I'm doing that comic. It might end in a as a downer, but I'm doing that one as a standalone. But I'm taking some of those panels or maybe a couple of the pages. I'm gonna recondense that story, and I'm gonna be doing a comic about epilepsy, more just how I've dealt with it and some of my personal experience of having epilepsy. So, and that event actually is like the catalyst to all of it. So I need to do this one before I can do the epileptic comic, which will be a mental health comic. And it's also a slice of life. So I'm doing a few slice of life comics this month. These 30 days have been about life. And then this one is also a slice of life. And this one kind of deals with mental health. It does end with a joke, but at that time where that the story takes place, it wasn't meant as a joke. Now I can look back at it like, oh, that was funny. I'll do a comic about that. So yeah, so this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, I think that's like 4 comics. And I do have another one that I roughed out. I'm not gonna finish that one within the 30 days. I'll probably just go back and revise some of the pages, but that did come out from this time doing the challenge. And I did do a tangent one page comic, which I will be putting up for free on my Coffee account. I meant to do that already, so hopefully it's already up by now. But yeah, and that also came out within the 30 days of making mini comics challenge. Just wanted to make a comic and not do a whole storyline, just 2 panels, and that's it. Someone did recommend I do 3 panels. Like, nah, I think it's fine for now, just because I didn't really want to go back. Oh, it wouldn't be hard, but I think it gets the point across. I call it Morning Tangents, just because I couldn't think of a title, and it's a tangent I drew in the morning. So it starts with a guy in his bathrobe. You know, he's hasn't shaved, still has a beard. He's gonna get some coffee. You know, falls through the next panel. That's what I get for standing on the panel. And that is a tangent. That's my tangent comic. I finally started to work on the Captain Courage story that I started in the first 9-volt anthology, which I have here. So it's Captain Courage right there. Oh, and this cover was done by Aaron Guzman, and he's the one that does the mini comic bundles. And I will be doing a video reviewing, I think it was 2019, a year in October. And I will be going over some of his, the last 2 mini comic bundles that he did, which I got recently. So I'll be doing that for Comics and Crossbows. So I'll probably be doing that, if not this week, then next week. But, you know, back to Captain Courage. So this was the first Captain Courage comic that I did. And it ends on just kind of a, we'll talk about that next time. So it ends on a cliffhanger. That's a long story. I'll have to save that story for another time. That's not the story I'm going to be. It might be. I barely started work on the page to continue this story, but it's gonna start off more having to do with this panel where a mission came up, but before he could go on that mission, he needed to complete this mission, which was visiting this lady in the hospital. But yeah, and that's my mom. I did this, I think it was just a couple of months after she had passed away. So this was me paying tribute to her, and also put my grandpa there. Captain Courage is going to go off on a mission, and the page I just did continues that. So it's very rough. Just did it very, very quickly just to sketch it out. But here it is. There's a Captain Courage there on top on the roof. And let's see, I don't know if you can. So yeah, you can here's the roof. So yeah, you can see this here. That's actually this plane that's coming up with the Canada symbol, and then they kind of fly off. So Crimson Samaritan is going to be in this part of the story, and when that's finished, when this one's finished, I'm gonna take the pages for the first Captain Courage story, put them together. There might be a difference in the art. I don't know. I could go back and redo the art, but you know what? I I might just leave it as is. I think there's just one panel that I want to fix just because just a little mistake there, and it wasn't really just like the art. It was just a layer I forgot to take off before I merged everything and turned it into pages. I might even actually tell the origin story in this one, but we'll see. I was just planning on making this into a floppy. It's 24 pages, but I might do 30 pages, and I don't know. But we'll see. I'll be working on that as we go along. I'm not gonna finish this in 2 days, even if I did do it as the 30 days of making me comics, or even just 30 days of making comics. It's a story that I still need to script out. I got some of the just starting off points for that, but I'll definitely need to script it out, so it's gonna take a while. But it got started. It got started within this challenge. So actually, just a little proud of myself just for just the what I've gotten completed so far, and the stories that are coming out of this, and just a Captain Courage story is going to be continued. So yeah, so I mean, a lot of stuff it's been fruitful. But that's what I've done so far. If you want to make comics and you don't know where to start, man, mini comics. And some of these stories I just wanted to write down and tell, because it's not stories that I can probably tell with a floppy or a trade paperback, or like this one. I don't know where I could fit this type of story. So it's going to be a mini comic, just a little one-off, just a little funny thing that happened to me. This one, probably not going to make a floppy out of this, but I can make a mini comic and make a few copies. Another Captain Courage story that I finished. Captain Courage in the Armor of God. So it's just it's Ephesians 6:13 through 18, and it says here. So this is something I can use to evangelize, just to give out. But yeah, if you want to make comics, you want to make stories, start with a mini comic, or just get something just something quick out there, just to get you out of a rut. You don't even have to start with a mini comic. If you just want to jump in and do your epic, do a graphic novel, there might be stories in there that you want to tell, but they won't fit there. Mini comics. I got a few here for the Captain Goggles and Masked Woman. So these are the first two. These were just going to be little mini comics. It was probably just going to be maybe one or two little mini comics about Captain Courage and Masked Woman. There was a story kind of set up here, and it goes off into the story here. So what I'll probably end up doing, and I've talked about this before, that I'm actually might redo some of the pages here, just take some of the dialogue and take a couple of pages and add a couple of more new pages, and then just combine it with the stories here, this story. I'm doing also issue 3. I think this is issue 3, which will continue. And I'm doing issue 0, which is going to introduce the characters just a little bit. So I like how I did like a file folder. So it's going to be their bios, looking at file folders of Captain Goggles and Masked Woman. So yeah, so these all started off as mini comics. I'm gonna finish these off. Yeah, one of them is gonna be a side story that might not fit uh, in this comic that I'm gonna be doing, because I'm gonna take all these pages, put them together, just, add a few, take out a few, and add a little bit more of the story, and get that printed. That's just started as a mini comic, and I already have a world. Still need to finish these two, but yeah, this little comic about a joke on how masked woman takes a long time to type because she's typing like a dictionary. It sparked a world, which this one here is called Uncovering the Turaco verse. So that's the world of the story. This is the Turaco verse. There's a Turaco comics, so it's look at these. Look at these. At least 4 from mini comics. So yeah, and look, I did a teeny tiny one, and I'm gonna turn this into a regular mini comic. It's just me goofing around, just remembering something that happened, and it's turned into a little comic. So yeah, you're stuck on ideas. Use real life. Use jokes. You want to make a story? Jump in. Do a mini comic. Got whatever. If you're in a creative fog, I mean, you can get unfogged. With a mini comic. You don't even have to publish it. You don't even have to show it. Just to do one, just to get the ideas flowing, and you might even toss it, but get ideas off of that and make other stories. So yeah, the 30 days of making mini comics got 2 more days to go. I will be doing a video either this Tuesday or this week, but Tuesday is my final day of making the mini comics challenge, the 30 days of making mini comics challenge. And for 30 days, I got quite a few things done. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Give this video a like. Share it out. If you want to do the challenge, go ahead. You don't need a specific date to start on. You can start today. You can start tomorrow. But just start. Like I always say, make comics, not excuses. And we'll see you next time.